Welcome back to Comic Confidential, the weekly podcast where we bring you the hottest comic book, movie, and TV action. I'm your host, Cade, and alongside me today in the closet wardrobe recording booth is Troy Spinner.
It's a multi-purpose
It's a multi-purpose room.
Yeah, you know, we can not only can we record the show, but we can also have fun, like, costume change montages.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Cue the music.
Cue the music. It's fashion show time, you guys.
Yeah.
None of this stuff would fit us. But I think we could, you know,
I reckon we
grease
could,
you up enough.
Yeah, I could squeeze into something here, I'm sure of it.
Hey, man, what's going on? Because we got a lot of stuff coming up.
Yeah, we do. We have, like, a change.
We got a change. We got some changes that are happening that are, you know, it's, hey, sometimes life just throws you like curveballs.
Yeah, that's right.
And you have to go, oh, fuck, I was ready for like a straight ball.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, I guess I've striked out again.
Yeah.
God damn you, life.
And other sports references. But basically.
Touchdown, baby.
It's a slam.
That's a home dunk.
Slam. Anyway, I guess what we're talking about. So, look, I have recently taken on a new job.
Yes, you have.
And, you know, what is that job? It doesn't even matter what the job is. But I've taken on a new job, and that job is going to take me away from the show intermittently for the next kind of 6 months. So I'm going to be sort of in and out, as it were.
You got
in
a
and
new
out
job
of life, as well as the show. So I'll be back as often as I possibly can be, but there will be some episodes over the next 25 weeks. There'll be this episode, next episode of Fine, and then after that it's going to be me sparingly, but all Cade.
All me, only me. Me and my friends. You know, there's going to be old friends returning, new friends coming to the show.
Yeah, and some friends that you guys maybe have never even met before.
And lots of guests.
Well, I was referencing the guests.
Internet pending.
Yeah.
There's a little asterisk there.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's happening. So that's one of the things we wanted to say. So I will miss you guys while I'm gone, but I will try to be in as many times as I can over the next 25. Out of 25 weeks, I'm aiming for, like, you know, a good 15 episodes.
Yeah.
We could, which I think is doable.
Which we probably can do because of the way the show's going to be going.
Yeah. So we've kind of put it out there to you guys as well, and we've asked for a lot of feedback.
And boy, have you guys delivered.
Yeah, you guys delivered. Some of it, you know, probably we didn't even ask for, but that's fine. But yeah, because of that, we're going to change up the show a little bit more. We're going to change the format a little bit. We do need to reference the fact that we are going to be kind of like more pop culture based.
Yes.
Because, you know, we're getting some flack that we don't necessarily talk about comics enough to call ourselves a comic podcast. And I get that.
That's fair.
So, you know, we are now Comic Confidential, a pop culture podcast. So that's a thing on iTunes now that you can go and check out and look at.
Yeah.
But the format's not going to change too much. It's more going to be like, you know, we're going to open it up a little bit more. We're going to do some, rather than, you know, kind of focusing on the movies that are just definitely within our niche, we're going to branch out a bit more and talk about some of the classic pop culture movies and things like that. So
yeah, and I mean, it's kind of been a little bit of a natural progression for the show anyway, because, you know, we're talking about things like The Incredibles, we talk about other movies, you know, it's like Jurassic World. There's no comic books on Jurassic Park.
Exactly.
You know,
Isn't there?
Well, probably. There's a comic book on everything, Troy.
Yeah.
There's a comic book on comic books.
I think the world's first comic was like cave painted. From the Jurassic era.
I believe that.
Humans weren't even around, I don't think.
No, they were. Don't listen
to
the government,
dinosaur
Troy.
lingo. I don't understand. So look, that's all it's really going to be, and we are going to we're going to cut back on the news. We're going to focus the news kind of more on our
social outlets,
our social media and stuff like that.
So, you know, if you want to find out awesome hot news and spicy memes, you know, all the channels to follow us on.
Yeah, exactly. Which we'll talk about at the end of the show. So you guys asked, we delivered some of it, but not all of it.
But I think it's going to be a very enjoyable change for the show. It's going to feel refreshed. It's going to feel fun. Yep. And we get to talk about all the things that we kind of referenced, but never really got a chance to talk about.
Yeah, because a lot of, like, one of the biggest things that, one of the reasons why we wanted to do this is because there are so many fantastic movies out there, even within the realms of what we do. Like, we've never spoken about Batman 89.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we've never spoken about Blade.
Damn.
You know, and we kind of like we were trying to hold back on doing old movies. Like, I know we did that once or twice, but we've really tried to kind of like cut back on that. But we kind of want to open it up now because we want to talk about that shit.
Yeah, that stuff is fun. Yeah, we love it. We love comics, but we also love lots of other stuff.
Exactly.
So let us express our love.
Damn you. And there'll still be some comic talk and whatnot all the way through, you know. And,
we've got some pretty creative things going on.
And we'll still be talking about all the upcoming movies when they come out. We're still definitely doing new movies. We're definitely doing all the comic book movies when they drop.
Hell yeah.
We're definitely still doing your
Netflix shows.
Yeah, Netflix shows
TV
and all that sort of stuff. So don't worry about that. None of that's going. One of the other things we're doing this goddamn week, this episode drops on a Sunday. On the Tuesday, we are going to be guesting on the Countdown Movie and TV Reviews podcast, going kind of head-to-head with Wayne and Paul from that show in the top 10 pop culture defining films of all time.
Oh, yeah.
But kind of more like our favorites.
Yeah, I think that's really our favorite pop culture movies ever.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the ones that have had the kind of like the largest impact on popular culture. But more importantly, it's just a chance for us to get in and just get at Wayne and Paul and just win this thing once and for all. Because,
we'll get them good.
Since the dawn of time, people have been going, who would win? Who would win in a top 10 showdown between Wayne and Paul and Troy and Kate?
See, people have a little bit of doubt on us because they're like, these Comic Confidential boys usually only do top fives. Like, they have really great top fives, but I don't know what's after. What's number 6? I've never heard of number 6, Troy.
Well, guess what?
We're going to have it this Tuesday. It's
happening, and there's 2 of us. So if we just do 2 top fives, that's a 10.
Winner, chicken dinner, baby.
So that's happening. So please make sure you check that show out. Like I said, this will drop on the Sunday. Their show will drop on the Tuesday. It's the Countdown Movie and TV Review podcast. It's on our website. They're part of CC Radio. They're absolutely fantastic guys. We're giving them a bit of shit because we're going up against them, but they're friggin' great.
It's a good show.
It's a good show, and it's a really good show. It's one of my personal favorites. So that's what's happening.
Yeah.
That's a whole bunch of stuff.
That's now that we'll give you 2 seconds to let that sink in. Troy.
Yes.
What are you looking at?
Ooh, what am I looking at? Let me tell you what I'm looking at. One of the things I'm looking at is Fear the Walking Dead.
Oh, and I've just got goosebumps all over me because this is good news.
Yeah, so I actually, there's been yourself and Peter from the Patreon group chat, and he's around. He's everywhere.
He's everywhere.
That have been kind of saying for the longest time, hey, get back on Fear the Walking Dead. It's actually good. It's better than The Walking Dead. You need to check it out. And for the longest time, I was like, you know what? No. And I watched...
You guys are wrong. You're so wrong.
Because I watched the first half of season 3, and I was just like, you know what? Nah. It's just not me. But I decided to go back, and I checked it out. And I will admit that it's benefited from the fact that I've been able to binge watch.
Okay.
I think. Because it's a rough week-to-week show. Would you agree? Or
no,
not?
I see. I naturally enjoy it, so for me, I'm always hankering for it to come back on because it always ends in really strong ways.
Yeah, similar to The Walking Dead, where you're like, "What the fuck am I doing here? Why am I here? Why is this happening? That's why.
And
I'm coming back next week."
Pretty
with the
much
same disappointment. But yeah, no, it has gotten really, really good. Season 3 finished strong. I'm I think there's 8 episodes out in season 4 so far. They're on a bit of a break. I am 6 episodes deep. So I'm almost caught up completely. So I'm really kind of enjoying it. I won't go into it, in case, there are a few of you that are sort of behind. But I will say that I do apologize because it's quality. It's a lot better than what it was. And it's vastly more engaging than the Walking Dead is, which I understand it's had 8 seasons to kind of, have that issue. But
and I feel like Fear the Walking Dead has learnt a lot from where The Walking Dead has gone wrong.
Yeah.
Especially in this this new season, because The Walking Dead, the Negan season, could be argued as one of the slowest, most boring seasons of all time.
Well, especially after the build-up. And I think the build-up is the reason why.
And that's it. It started on such a strong opening couple of episodes, and then just went, it really dipped.
Yeah.
And it was just a slow burn that went, because in the time of the show, it was a couple of days.
Yeah.
And man,
which is mental.
It's crazy, It felt like a lifetime for the viewers. So, not good storytelling there.
No.
Whereas Fear the Walking Dead really takes it on board. They told maybe 2 years worth of story.
Yeah.
In a very short time.
Yeah.
And it does it very effectively.
Yeah, no, it did a really good job. And it really helped to develop some of the characters that you were kind of like, man, do I really care? And then you're like, oh, hey, maybe I do a bit.
And
maybe
I
do.
Fear the Walking Dead is a lot braver in the decisions they make.
Yeah. Well, I think they've got a bit more creative freedom as well. Like they don't have a comic book that they're kind of tied to.
Yep.
So I think they have the ability to completely pull away from that and just do their own thing. They're not kind of restricted to, well, they haven't so far restricted themselves to kind of like
following a preset storyline.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly that. So yeah, so I appreciate that. But what are you looking at?
Oh, I finished Irredeemable.
Oh, have you?
Yeah,
nice.
So that was nearly 700 pages worth of comic.
Damn.
Very, very long.
Yep.
That might be one of the longest series I've ever read.
Yeah.
So
well, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
I am proud of you.
And the way it ends, I was like, very clever.
Yeah.
Very clever. Wraps up way too quickly for what I wanted it to.
Yeah, it does.
It was... I mean, it builds up so much throughout this whole, I guess, story, and it kind of almost ends in 20 pages.
Yeah, it was like wrapped up in an issue or two.
Yeah.
Like it was, yeah.
And I kind of got to the end, did not realize I was at the end, and I went back a couple of pages, like, nope, that's it. I was like, okay. Well, that was like a clever way to end it, but man, I just kind of wish they maybe had another 200 pages to like really flush out an ending on that.
Well, one thing you can do is you can go and check out what do you call it? It's a comic called Incorruptible.
Okay.
Which is essentially it's set in exactly the same world.
Oh, okay. So exact same world?
It's the exact same world. And it's the same author, so it's Mark Waid. It's also by Boom Studios as well. And it's basically, it's kind of more about a supervillain who turns good. So it's kind of the opposite of, so he's...
I like that.
Yeah, his name was Max Damage, which is pretty cool.
He's in Irredeemable.
Irredeemable. Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like it's, but
Okay.
So it's kind of like... You can kind of flip the story almost. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So check that out. But there is, I've got it here. 30 issues.
30 issues.
Yeah.
Okay.
So definitely check it out. It's well worth a read. I would say probably not as strong.
Yeah.
As Irredeemable, but it's still pretty cool. And it's kind of the flip side of it. It's like this bad dude that's trying to be good.
Cool. If I don't check that out, I am on to Preacher.
Okay.
Yep. Got that whole series downloaded on the iPad, ready to rock and roll.
Damn.
Yep.
How did you get this? Or should I not ask?
No, I got it on my Comixology account.
Ah, of course.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yes, that's what I like to hear. Because I do already have it.
Oh, okay.
So I could have lent you my account.
Ah.
Yeah, but just, if you hadn't already procured it from totally legal means. But look, you'll like that. I've read it. Really enjoyable, but in my personal opinion, kind of ruined the series. Like the live action series.
Oh, it's just because you were looking for things from the comic into the
which I shouldn't have been doing.
Yeah,
but,
that's
more fool me, but
classic stuff up there, Troy.
But I am going to go back and check it out.
Nice.
So I do because I finished season 2. No, sorry, I finished season 2 about 3 episodes in.
Oh,
yeah, I stopped watching.
Oh,
yeah, so I'm going to go back because I know season 3 comes out by the time we go to air.
Very, very soon.
And Luke Cage is out right now.
Yes, it is.
It has officially launched. I have not had a chance to check anything out yet. I'm currently in between jobs, so I got a bit of time. So I'm going to binge it.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah. So that's out.
From all reports, it seems to be good, but not great.
Okay.
So
interesting.
You know what? I'll make my own decision on that, and we'll report on that, maybe in about a week or 2?
Yeah, it's a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I think we've got Incredibles today. We've got Jurassic World next week, and then we're doing some Luke Cage, baby.
Oh, that'll be good.
Yeah. Now, after waiting nearly 14 goddamn years, we've finally arrived at the moment all animated movie fans, and maybe just movie fans in general, have been waiting for. The release of Pixar's long-awaited Incredibles 2, the sequel to 2004's smash hit, starring the Parr family, And still to this day, let's be honest, it's the best Fantastic Four movie we've ever had.
Easily.
And likely to ever get.
Absolutely.
Unless, we get this whole merger and stuff happens and whatnot. But who knows? Who knows? There's a lot of money on the table there. Hey, the question I want to know, though, and I'm sure the people at home want to know, was the 14 years worth the wait. Now, what is this movie about, if you don't already know?
All right, so Bob Parr, also known as Mr. Incredible, is left to play stay-at-home dad to Jack Jack, while Helen, also known as Elastigirl, is out saving the world in a world that no longer wants heroes.
Yeah. So let's talk about the cast for a sec, because I've been once upon a time I said that this is probably the oldest cast to ever assemble for an animated movie, and I stand by that.
Only older now, Troy.
Only older now. So we've got Craig T. Nelson as Bob Parr, Holly Hunter as Helen Parr, Catherine Keener as Evelyn DeVore, Bob Odenkirk as Winston DeVore, with Sam Jackson, Sarah Vowell, Hulk Milner, Eli Fusil, Phil Lamar, Isabella Rossellini, and a whole bunch more. It was directed by Brad Bird with a runtime of 118 minutes. Now, Cade, tell me what people are thinking critically of this movie.
Man, the critics are loving this movie. So IMDb is currently sitting at an 8.5 out of 10, with Rotten Tomatoes giving it a 94% certified fresh.
Damn.
With an audience score of 88%. Quite surprising. Like, when it's not a comic book movie or a Star Wars movie, we seem to get these very mixed responses from the audiences.
Yeah.
Metacritic gives it a very healthy 80. For those playing at home, anything above 60 for Metacritic is amazing.
Yeah.
And CinemaScore gives it an A+.
Damn, that's about as good as you can get. And look, I guess that's basically the consensus overall, isn't it? Like, critics love it. Humans love it.
Dogs love it.
Dogs love it. Everyone loves it. But what did you think of it, man?
Look, Troy, I thought this movie was absolutely fantastic. Waiting so long for this movie, the hype was real because the trailer came out and I was very, very unimpressed by it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I can only go into this movie with minimal expectations after seeing that. Because I've waited, 14 years for this to come out.
Yeah.
And I think they only released one trailer, didn't they?
No, I think there were a couple. But
maybe I just avoided them.
Yeah, I think you probably did a good job of avoiding it.
So, and that could have been just my reception from the first one. I was like, I do not care about these other trailers.
Yeah, although I will say, though, I don't think the marketing was huge on this.
I don't think it was either,
you know
because I don't remember seeing any advertising on TV for merchandise or anything. You know, you got your Jurassic World out there that are making fucking dinosaur Doritos.
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean?
Basically, yeah.
And there was nothing like that for The Incredibles 2. And, that could also be that I'm not that target market.
Yeah, true.
So, maybe in a child outlet, it could have been getting...
A child outlet where you can go and buy children.
Well, no, yeah. You can go buy 2-3-year-olds and, return them if you don't like them. And
yeah. But
it's more so the fact that it's kind of like a, maybe kids' TV channels were absolutely smashed with this advertising where, we're not children. We don't watch children TV shows, do we, Troy?
Right?
Not at all.
Right, you guys? Well, one thing we didn't talk about, I just breezed straight over it. I just wanted to get straight into talking about the movie, but we didn't talk about the money.
Oh, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, because this has reportedly a $200 million budget. Now, if you normally... What you do is you take the budget and you kind of double it and you throw in at your marketing and all that sort of stuff, right? But I guess did they have they cut back on marketing spend, because they already know the hype is
Maybe.
Do you know what I mean? I can't see them having spent $200 million, but I don't know.
No, yeah, who knows?
Just because I haven't seen it. That's I guess what I'm getting at.
I think the thing is if the older generation, which would be you and I, who saw this movie when it first came out, saw it today, and it's like, I have to see this.
Yeah.
I've seen nothing about it. I'm seeing Incredibles 2 this weekend.
Yeah, as soon as it comes out, you're like, yep, guaranteed, I'm there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was really smart because they released this movie before school holidays.
Yeah.
So they obviously knew there was the adult market out there who were going to go smash this.
Yeah, well, I think the thing is, it's one of these ones that has had a weird kind of release date where they're kind of dropping it like left, right, and center, kind of all over the place. It's not like a worldwide release or anything
Oh,
like that. So
really?
there's a lot of places that haven't gotten it yet. It's I don't know. I've never really understood why they do it. I always assumed it was around holidays and things like that. But maybe that's not the case this time. I don't know.
Very odd.
Yeah, but talking about like money just quickly, what were we saying? It's kind of made $344 million so far. And it had like $182 million opening domestically, which was a record for an animated feature. So like that's insane.
This is on its way to $1 billion in no time.
I don't know about that.
I reckon it'll get close. I reckon this will be a $850-900 million movie.
Yeah, I think it'll get to the 700s. It's just, and I think because it hasn't been released everywhere yet, like internationally, like it's only pulled in $75 million so far worldwide.
Oh, really?
Also foreign in international markets. So yeah, it's probably largely because it hasn't released everywhere, but also is it going to struggle? You know what I mean? So who knows? But we'll see. But anyway, sorry. Back to
very interesting marketing ploy by Disney Pixar here for this.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we'll see how it works for
But what I liked about this movie is like a lot of cinemas, and including the cinema that we frequent, which is Events Cinemas at Smithfield, did a like an adults only viewing where you could have cocktails based on each of the incredible characters, which was really, really cool. I wish I could have went to that. I couldn't. It was my anniversary tour, and I would have been murdered.
I've got a really special night planned for you, babe. Yeah. It's going to be incredible. Imagine.
Damn, I should have.
Yeah, you missed. Yeah, you definitely missed an opportunity there, champ.
Oh, I could have said to my wife, this evening's festivities are sponsored by Event Cinemas.
Yes. They put this on just for you, babe.
Yeah,
I swear.
just for you.
Our showing was basically there were no kids.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Absolutely no kids. Like it was 8:40 at night. I get that. It was 8:40 at night. It was on like a Thursday or something.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was fine. There's probably not going to be small children. If there is small children there, you're probably a little bit of you're a rebel of a parent.
Yeah.
Really, aren't you? But I was surprised. Like it wasn't a packed showing or anything like that. But there were definitely no kids. So like we understand this is kind of like a lot of this has been marketed as to adults, and I think that's kind of where Finding Dory kind of missed out. Because it kind of still tried to target it towards kids. And it came out like, 12 or 13 years after Finding Nemo.
But you say that, Finding Dory made like $1.3 billion.
Yeah, did it?
Yeah.
Did it though?
It really did. Like, it is an insane amount of money that movie made for something that didn't have a good impression on anyone.
Okay. Oh, well.
So
maybe I'm just thinking it was critically panned.
I think it was. I don't think it was taken very well by anyone. It's just one of those movies that everyone knows, Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
So they got to go see Finding Dory.
Oh, God. If Finding Dory can make $1.3 billion.
That's what I mean.
Surely the Incredibles 2, not The Incredibles 2, mind you. Incredibles 2 can make $1 billion.
Surely. It has to get very, very close. And if it doesn't, I'm going to be super surprised and a little disappointed in every moviegoer out there.
Yeah, 100%. Now, I know where we kind of, we do this whole not talking spoilers and stuff like that. So I'll keep my thoughts to a minimum.
Okay.
And then we'll get into some spoilery things.
Yep.
This might come as a shock to you. I was not that impressed.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I kind of got that impression from you when we left the cinema. Because I walked out and I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
The way... And I have a very vague memory of the original Incredibles.
Yeah.
But I feel like the way the power sets were used in this movie were much better.
Well, yeah. Look... I have absolutely no doubt that this is a spectacular looking movie, right? That's fine. I was just bored.
That's fair.
Right. The third act, fantastic, right? Absolutely loved it. There is a twist that you will see coming.
But you also have to remember
1,000 miles away.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I understand it's for kids.
It's for children.
So it's not for my old ass self, is it?
And when one of the main characters...
If I didn't pick it...
I would be a bit worried.
Yeah. It's like, are you smarter than a fifth grader? No.
I'm definitely not.
I didn't pick the Incredibles twist. Yeah, but like, just, I don't know, man. I mean, I guess I had it built up, because I love the Incredibles.
Yes.
I think it's absolutely fantastic. But, once this kind of like, we got here and I found myself kind of going, is this it? Like, is this really kind of all we're going to do? Like, I mean, I barely laughed. Do you know what I mean? Like I had one or two kind of like, chuckles maybe.
I'll give you that. This movie wasn't as funny as what you would expect a Disney movie to be.
Yeah.
I had more laughs in Thor Ragnarok than I did in this movie.
Yeah, but Thor Ragnarok was supposed to make you laugh.
Yeah, so but this is also a kid's movie. Maybe the humor is just a bit, I don't want to sound like a wanker, but a little bit below us.
No. I don't know. I don't think it's that, but I don't know. It's just none of it kind of hit with me. And like a lot of the stuff that, should have played off as funny, like, Jack with his powers and all that sort of stuff, you'd kind of seen that in the first trailer. And then as soon as you see it once, it's kind of like, well, it's not funny enough to like, to become a thing.
Absolutely. And it grew old very quickly.
Very quickly. And it was like, it kind of like played on that a bit too much. And you're kind of like, all right, we've seen it now. We get it. He's got like a whole vast amount of powers and it's driving Mr. Incredible crazy. Like, it's cool.
Yeah, we get it. We get it. He can multiply.
Yeah. Although, I really did enjoy the Jack versus Raccoon battle.
Yes. And that might be one of the highlights of the film, which is like almost one of the sadder parts of it because that's kind of the highest, I guess, in comedy it's going to get.
Yeah. And, like, take it for what you will. Like, no one is actually kind of saying that this movie was supposed to dead set make you laugh. Now, I can, like, Brad Bird has done a spectacular job putting this thing together because it looks fantastic, right? It looks absolutely amazing. And you can see that they've spent, almost $200 million on it. Like,
it's a shiny movie.
Yeah, there are some sequences that are just like, holy shit. But just overall, I guess I was left wanting more. And we could talk about more in the spoilery section and stuff like that. We can get into it a bit more. But yeah, I mean, first and second act, I'm kind of like, you know what? You saved it.
Yeah.
In the end, but like if they announced Incredibles 3, I'm going to be far less excited as I was when I heard that they were doing Incredibles 2.
Yeah, fair enough. That could also be that maybe Elastigirl shouldn't have been the highlight of the movie.
Maybe.
And that's not to say like the character's not fantastic, because I'm going to go into, when we go into spoilers, like how much I loved it.
Yeah.
But maybe it's more so Mr. Incredible's like struggle with everything else.
Yeah.
Because it kind of came as not too much of a shock, but I was kind of disappointed at like how he was kind of portrayed in this movie.
Didn't really have a lot to do.
Didn't have a lot to do.
Kind of bit like selfish.
Yeah, exactly.
Wanted all the spotlight himself.
Yeah.
And, all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
And like, I don't remember him being like that at all. I feel like this is like the people's people, and they really shone him in a kind of a negative light.
Yeah. I guess I can sort of see it.
Dash, he was just he was supposed to be the comedic relief.
Yeah.
And it just didn't hit with me. And that's where I kind of feel like that might have been aimed at kids, like he's smashing down his cereal so he can go play in the backyard. And stuff like that. Like, I remember doing stuff like that as a kid, and I could like, haha, yeah, that's me, mum.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Yeah.
Not these days. And Violet.
Just an angsty teen. But that's,
the movie didn't service her and didn't need her.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of more like, did you really care about her plight with Toby?
Not at all.
You know what I mean?
And that's where that whole second act really lulled.
Yeah. And that's kind of it for me, because like, I guess, I don't know. I mean, I wanted it like, maybe I just didn't want it to be as grounded as it was.
Yeah.
Because like, while we had Elastigirl going out and, doing these kind of like fantastic sort of missions against Screenslaver and whatnot.
Yeah.
Working for the what do we call them? The DeVoes? The DeVores. Winston and Evelyn DeVore. She was off doing that, and like that was fine. Like there was some great sequences and stuff like that. But when we come back home, which is supposed to be like some of the the cooler sort of funnier parts, I don't know. It didn't hit for me, and I think it's because I don't know. I mean, like I maybe I am too old for this movie. Like, maybe that is legitimately it. Maybe for me personally, I'm too old for Incredibles 2. I know there are older people that have gone and seen it and loved it, right? But I don't know. Maybe I've aged. Maybe the last 14 years have been hard.
You've had things just aren't as incredible as they used to be.
Exactly. I was a much different, sort of more naive, easily influenced person 14 years ago.
Yeah, no, that's fair, and I completely get that. So do you want to start moving into
for
spoilers?
Sure. Yeah, let's move into spoilers.
Hit, shit, or split for you, Troy?
Look, I'm gonna go Split because it wasn't like I had a terrible time. Like it's over. Like it's a 2-hour long movie.
Yes,
it's a 2-hour long animated kids movie, and I didn't look at my watch or anything like that. Like it wasn't at a point where like I was, oh my god, like should I even be here? Why are we even doing this? But it was kind of also like, oh yeah, it's cool. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So I can't really say either way. So I will go Split, and I'm disappointed that for all the shit that I've liked, this is where I've ended up on Incredibles 2. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised by that because I'm kind of teetering on that same edge as you because there's a couple of things. There's things in this movie that I love and I want to see elsewhere that make me love it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say it's a Split.
Oh.
Yeah.
You started off so positively.
It is, but it's only positive because I want to see these things elsewhere.
Right.
Like the things in here were great, but they didn't save this movie.
Okay. What do you mean elsewhere though?
Well, I can only talk about that in spoilers.
Oh, okay. Sorry. All right, so that's it. It's a couple of splits.
Yeah, a couple of splits.
Couple of banana splits. So we're going to head into spoilery territory, and we're going to kind of delve deep into why we're split on a movie that should have been a hit. It should have been a knock it out the park hit.
Yep.
But we're just a couple of old ass dudes, so who cares? So all right, let's go spoilers. What do you mean?
Okay, so Elastigirl.
Yeah.
She makes me realize I really want a Fantastic Four movie, and I want a Fantastic Four movie based around Stretch Man.
Stretch dude and club a girl.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, pretty much. No.
So Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's everything I see Elastigirl doing because my mind instantly got blown. And I mean instantly.
Yeah.
In our first scene where she shoots her arm out and it's like Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh my God, that's the coolest thing I've seen. And I'm like 10 minutes into this movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, they can do so many great things with Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And I just look at what they did with Elastigirl and the fact that her power set is like, she stretches. Like, what can be so great about that?
Yeah.
They did a fantastic, like, representation of that. Like, yeah, she can make herself a parachute. She did about 100 times in that movie.
Yeah, it's her go-to move.
It's her go-to. Yeah, parachute girl.
Yeah.
But, like, the fact that, like, she went out like Spider-Man, I was just like, oh my jaw dropped. My eyes almost fell out of my head. I was just like, my mind's now being blown.
Yeah, right.
I want everything that can be done by any other hero. I feel like Mr. Fantastic can do it.
So this is in the first scene when they're going up against the Underminer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the names of the villains, though, by the way. Like,
yeah, they're pretty great.
They were good.
So that's what I mean. It started off like so great. And then after that, it's kind of like,
Yeah. I feel like I'm being a bit harsh on it, right? I'm gonna try to turn this a little bit. I'm gonna stick with my Split, but the action sequences were fantastic, man.
Oh, they were.
When it happened, like the big battle versus the Underminer. When we get the final battle, kind of where it's like everyone versus everyone, pretty much, and then the Incredibles come together and whatever. Frozone was amazing. Like Samuel L. Jackson was fantastic in this movie, right? It's the in between parts that I struggled with, right? Because I didn't really want to see the story, and I should have. But like, I don't know.
It wasn't captivating enough.
For me, it definitely wasn't. So, but when you look at some of these things, like I think the funniest part was when they start introducing these new sort of superheroes that are like kind of coming out of the woodwork because of Elastigirl and the work she's doing, and the work that Winston DeVore is doing in kind of like trying to legalize them and all that sort of stuff. And we get some of these cool. There's like this old dude, with a little pot belly, and he's like reflux, and he's like, is it a medical condition or a superpower? And then you see him later when he goes bad, and his superpower is cool as fuck. It's like lava or something that comes out of his mouth, and then you've got like the whole the Brick guy is like just giant freaking huge dude. He's like, my name is Brick. Yeah, it's like just stuff like that is great, but I think there's just a lot of it just kind of missed, and that's why I really liked the third act. Yeah, because the third act was a good blend of characterization and action, whereas the tail end of the first act and all of the second act was just a little bit too kind of just not enough for me.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I kind of feel like the third act, the stakes weren't really there though. It's kind of like, there's a boat with a couple of pretty important people on it.
Well, no, but the stakes weren't necessarily about like saving the world.
No,
the stakes were about, are we going to be able to represent superheroes to a point where the public will accept us again? So they're the stakes. That's the stakes that are,
But here's the thing. I never felt like the public hated superheroes. I feel like the public always liked superheroes. It was the government that didn't like superheroes because they felt like, they were causing more damage than they were actually, protecting it from. It's kind of like,
true.
If you didn't interfere, insurance would have taken care of this.
Yeah.
And obviously there's like no superhero insurance or something like that in this world. Like they don't cover that. So that's the only reason that it seems like these superheroes are like shunned.
Yeah.
I never got the impression that the public were anti-hero. Because it was always like...
That's fair. Like, yeah.
News stations were like, oh my God, Elastigirl was here. And everyone was always very, very happy. The public were like, Elastigirl's riding around on the highway. And they're like, oh my God, that's Elastigirl.
Yeah, but see, isn't that kind of the whole point, though? Like, wasn't that the whole point of, like, Winston DeVore's plan is to use her, right, as the face of this because they know that collaterally, as far as the damage goes, hers will be less.
Oh, absolutely.
So, like, there is going to be better public perception.
Yeah.
If she is the face of the superhero
definitely.
rebirth or whatever.
But I kind of feel like the public would still like to see Mr. Incredible to save the day.
Yeah.
And he kind of like says when you have a big problem, you need like a big guy to stop it.
Yeah. I don't necessarily think that the movie should have focused around Mr. Incredible.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I might have preferred it if it went the way it did with Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl being taken out, and it was kind of the kids.
Yeah.
And the kids had to go around and go on this adventure and stuff, and that's kind of what happened. It just kind of took us too long to get there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So it was, just a bit, and look, no offense to Holly Hunter, but her voice...
Oh, it's rough.
It does my head in.
Yeah,
and that could have been part of the problem because it just completely takes me out of it.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. Okay, let's talk about the kids for a minute because Dash, man, I could never get on board with this guy. Because
he's not very fast, is he?
He's not. He's just like a bit quick. That's my name.
Yeah.
A bit quicker than you.
A bit quicker than you because... Yeah. Like, Violet literally almost caught up to him pushing a pram with Jack in it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, how fast are you, kid?
Yeah.
You're just Usain Bolt.
Yeah, exactly.
In a kid.
Yeah. And, like, that's kind of one of the disappointments I had from this movie.
That's nitpicking, though. Like, come on.
But I don't know if it's really nitpicking because, like, there wasn't anything to kind of take these characters to this next level. They all relied on, like, the next level being Jack. Who had, like, what they say, 19 powers or something?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
And it's kind of like, I don't care about that because we're not really ever going to have that elaborated on. Like, the only power that was great by Jack was the fact that they used him as, like, a little gun to shoot his laser eyes.
Yeah.
To save Dash.
Yeah.
And that was, like, the extent of that character.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see, like, imagine Dash, like, kind of getting his own version of the Speed Force or something like that where he kind of goes a next level quick where maybe he can go back in time.
Yeah, or, like, you don't need to necessarily make it, like, Flash. You don't want to completely rip off the Flash.
But there was, like, characters like Void. So maybe, like, Dash...
She was cool as shit.
Void was amazing.
She had some great powers, man.
She had great powers.
Like, great character, too, you know what I mean? Like
a little bit, like, nervous. Yeah. Oh, I'm meeting my hero type of thing. Everyone can relate to that, which is cool. But it would have been great to see Void maybe team up with, like, Dash to create, like, a time loop or something like that. Just something to kind of push these powers to the next level.
Yeah.
I'm completely spoiled by the MCU and the fact that I want grand scale powers. I don't want a kid that can run a bit quicker.
Yeah, look, I totally agree with you in the sense of, like, disappointed in, his powers.
Yeah.
Because, like, you're totally right. And they could do something with that, and if they were ever going to do it, this was the movie to do it. But, yeah, it's kind of just, they've kept him sort of... he's a bit quick. He's not ridiculously quick. He's not going to necessarily, like run circles around, the friggin' world.
Well, imagine, like, I had this idea that the boat was running, towards the land.
Yeah.
Like, get him on the water to run around the boat or something, create a wave to push it away. Like, take his powers to another level like that. Like, something that really will develop that character as a hero.
Whereas Violet, her power set increased.
Yes.
So she went from kind of, being able to turn invisible and having like some force fields to being able to like, throw shit.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like concussive bolts or whatever they were,
Yep.
like force field bolts. To be like, did she like crushed stuff with it as well and stuff like that? You know what I mean? So there's like they did well with her. Like her powers, I didn't care about her little relationship with Toby, but who am I to care about teenage relationships?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? That's not for me, and that's fine. But like, I liked what they did with her as a character, insofar as how they kind of increased her power set. And like I said, I really enjoyed when it was kind of Dash, Violet, and Jack Jack. I would have liked to have seen more of that, though. You know what I mean? Like more hero versus hero action.
Definitely.
Because let's talk about the twist for a second.
Oh, the twist that you saw coming from the first time this character came on
As
screen.
soon as she walked in the door, you're like, yep, you're the bad guy.
Yep.
And look, we spoke about that earlier. We understand that it is a kid's movie and, kids might necessarily pick up on those things, and that's fine. But man, like, I mean, I guess part of my problem is because it was so obvious from the start, you're kind of just sitting there like waiting to go, Screenslaver is not the main bad guy.
Yeah.
So you're like, when are we going to be done with this? And when are we going to get on and find out what the motives are? And the motives are said right at the start with one of the first things that she says. And you're like, that's your motivation as to why you're a bad
100%.
guy. And, when you are watching a movie, right, regardless of whether it's for kids or not, right, if you know where it's going, it's kind of going to take you out for the middle part because it's kind of hard to go on that ride.
Oh, 100%. Imagine knowing at the start of Sixth Sense, you knew everyone was a ghost.
What?
Oh, sorry.
Spoilers for The Sixth Sense. Everyone's a ghost, apparently. But yeah, look, that's part of my problem, I think.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of like just sitting back and you're like, you kind of know, all right, well, right, this, whatever, who cares? Like, this is happening, but it's all like her creation, and we know that, and like, when's it going to come out, and what's the end game, even though we kind of already know why.
Yeah.
It's just, how is it going to wrap up? That's it. So yeah, it was a bit disappointing for that, and I think that was the movie's biggest problem. That's what took me out of it.
Yep.
Not necessarily that it was focused on Elastigirl and there was this like home, like life that I didn't really sort of get into it, but that was definitely part of it. I didn't mind it focusing on Elastigirl, but I mean the Mr. Incredible kind of being at home and going through the same stuff over and over and over again. It's kind of like, yeah, cool, we get it. But it's that whole storyline. It was just like, all right, cool.
And that's it. I think for a kid, he would find that funny. Mr. Incredible's tired again. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
He's fallen asleep doing normal things. Ha ha.
It's like, try being that age, kid.
I feel sorry for that dude, man. I feel sad.
I know what all of those things feel
Yeah.
like, except I don't have kids. So, I'm just assuming, take me now and multiply it. And I don't want that. I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
That movie is like just full of like sad depression. I feel like Mr. Incredible is like just Mr. Depressed right now.
Yeah. And like, I mean, it's just, it really is kind of like a harsh look at like your own life.
Yeah.
And how like tired you are and mundane your life is at some points and, all that sort of stuff. And we all want to do like cool, right, really exciting things. But hey, sometimes we've got to fucking do the, the shit at home.
You've got to do the hard yards first sometimes.
Exactly. And most of the time you're tired, kids.
Yeah.
That happens. So if you're a kid and you're listening to this, you're going to get tired.
Yep.
It is not going to stop. You'll end up as Mr. Incredible, let me tell you.
Now, Troy, I'm going to go into something different. We've never really done this.
Sure.
What would you want to see in Incredibles 3?
I guess what I would want to see more of is, like, I would want to see development, not just character development. We understand, like, like they're a great little family unit and all that sort of stuff, and they're dysfunctional like every other family, but they also happen to have these powers and whatnot. We've seen that twice now.
Yeah.
We don't really need to see that again. But let's give them some more sort of like, I don't know, let's have the kids kind of take over the mantle.
Yep.
So maybe have like the parents kind of like step aside.
Yeah.
And the kids, and like Jack's a bit older, and
Yeah.
like Dash and Violet, maybe they're in their like
Late teens? Yeah. Maybe early 20s?
Maybe early 20s. Jack's kind of like Dash's age now, and he's like, maybe settled on a few powers, not necessarily all of them, but but he's like like super powerful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the other kids have also like increased in their sort of power set as well. And I don't know, maybe give us like a world ending kind of disaster. Something that they have to, you know, and maybe like, I don't know, maybe Elastigirl and Mr. Incredible have to pull on the suit one last time, and, you know, they come together as a family to save, I don't know, whether it's like whether they save their town or whether they save, you know, the Earth.
Yeah. No, I like that idea, because in my mind I kind of wanted an older, like Jack, older Dash, older Violet. You know, I want them to kind of they have their own like version of the Avengers.
Yeah.
And it'll be good to see them kind of have a team. The team kind of gets defeated. And like you said, they need the mum and dad to come back and help them rescue their teammates and save the world.
Yeah, I like that. So superheroes are back. We know that. That's cool.
But what comes with superheroes, Troy?
Supervillains.
That's right.
Exactly. So we get to this point where, you know, these kids are older now, and then they've created their own team called the Fantastics.
Oh.
And there's 4 of them.
No, the Fantastic Moors.
Oh,
there's more than 4.
Yeah, cool. I like that. But yeah, you know what I mean? So, like, I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
But that sounds like a much more adult version. And, you know, we know that ultimately, even though it's 14 years later, so if you were 10 when you saw The Incredibles, you're 24 now. That's an adult.
That is an adult.
So the kids of then are the adults of today.
Yeah.
So regardless of how you try to market Incredibles 2, you can't help but think that it has to be a movie for adults, right?
Correct. That's how I see it.
So anyway, we've got some cool ideas in there, I think.
I think so too. So just take note, Disney/Pixar/ whoever else makes this.
Yeah. Now, I will ask you one more time. Hit, split, or shit?
I'm split. I'm still split.
Still Splitsville?
I go through the spoiler talk, and, you know, as much as I loved Elastigirl as, like, her power set and everything that she does just makes me really want a Fantastic Four movie.
Except her voice.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Sorry, Holly Hunter, but I just can't do it,
She's
man.
up there with Silverman. Sarah Silverman.
Silverman. Yeah, I like Sarah Silverman. Shut up, man.
No, not me.
Anyway. So you're still split?
Yeah, I'm still gonna split.
Okay. I'm still split. I think the more I kind of talk about it, the more I kind of think about like some of the cool things that were in it. Like, I think I can be pushed to a hit, but I'm going to stick with split because like ultimately, I mean, it just didn't do for me what I wanted it to do. And, you know, film is subjective and all that. So this is my thoughts. So that's where I'm kind of sticking with that. But I do want to ask you one more question, which I think is kind of obvious, though. Like, it's an obvious question. Incredibles 1 or 2?
Rose-colored glasses are telling me Incredibles 1.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a nostalgia effect. I don't remember it as much.
Yeah.
And it's given me, like, better memories. And then what I got on number 2 here. How about you?
Yeah, oh, look, I'd still say Incredibles 1.
Yeah.
I think, like if you look at the set pieces in Incredibles 2, much better. I think the movie is, like...
It's polished.
Look, it is a beautiful-looking movie, don't get me wrong.
It's got $200 million.
$200 million, man. That's, like... That is freaking massive.
That's huge.
But, yeah, like, so it looks great, but I think the story in The Incredibles was better.
Yep, I agree. Let us know, though.
What do you think?
What do you think? Incredibles 1? Incredibles 2? And what do you want for Incredibles 3? And that's going to do it for another episode. Stay tuned next week where we review Jurassic Park Fallen Kingdom.
Jurassic World, mate.
Oh, did I say Park?
Yeah.
Oh,
You're living in the past.
I am in the past,
You're living
man.
in the Jurassic era. We're in the still in the Jurassic era, but later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
Fair
you
enough.
know. Yeah, that's happening. That's coming next week. From all reports, it's pretty good. Although I've heard some bad stuff.
Really? I heard it's like game-changing.
Well, I've heard game-changing from like humans.
Yes.
And dinosaurs hate it.
Oh.
They don't think it's
not
accurate
dinosaurs
representation. Yeah.
Wow, dinosaur whitewashing.
No, critics. Critics don't. Critics aren't as fond of it as regular Joes like you or me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I heard there's some like very controversial matters within the film.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, so
in a Chris Pratt film.
In a
Whoa.
Man, that guy is about as deep as a 1 foot puddle.
I love him, though. He's good. So that's happening next week. Hey, pretty short episode, a little bit shorter than normal. Why? Because we are about to jump on with Paul and Wayne from The Countdown, and we are about to battle them head-to-head, top 10 pop culture defining films. So make sure you check that out when that comes out on Tuesday. It is available on our website or anywhere, most places where podcasts are.
Yeah.
But just do iTunes because it's easiest and probably the best.
I would say so.
Yeah.
And if you don't like iTunes, just jump on our website, comicconpod.com. Past episodes, future episodes, everything between. I jumped the gun early. I don't care.
Yeah, you did, man. I don't even know where we are anymore. Like, what are we even talking about now? We have some other social media things. So there's a Comic Confidential listener community, which you can jump on to Facebook and join as simply as answering a question. What is the name of our podcast? And if you do that, hey, you're in.
You're in.
You're in. You've won. You've won life.
I've deleted the Facebook app off my phone for the rest of this month.
Right.
I'm saving my data.
Okay.
Yeah. And
wow.
I'm
Times
really
are tough.
I'm really missing out on the Facebook group.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
I'll jump on the old computer, I'll tether and I'll do some work, and I see like 18 notifications.
Yeah, it's popping
like,
off.
Oh man, that group is going gangbusters.
So there's that. We are also just on Facebook as Comic Confidential. You can check us out there too. We're also on Instagram and Twitter at ComicConPod. The website you've done. And now you've thrown me completely, but I think we're doing Patreon right now.
Yeah, you can. If you want to support the show, you can do that from as little as $1 a month, and you can do that at Patreon. That's patreon.com/ComicConPod. You get early access to episodes. You get a bonus episode every week.
Yep.
You'll get another bonus episode every month, which is Netflix in chat
Yeah.
if you're at the right tier.
That's right.
You get stickers, you can get shirts and jumpers, and man,
Everything.
It just keeps on going and going.
It does.
The more you give, the more you get.
Yeah, so that's it. Hey, that's everything. But don't forget that the CC Radio Network is a thing. We've got a bunch of good shows on that. There's us. This one.
Yep.
That's a thing.
There's Potterheads.
There's Potterheads with Amy and Kirsten. There is the Countdown Movie and TV Reviews podcast with Paul and Wayne, who, as I said, we're about to go battle.
We're going to fight them.
And there is, so here's the idea with Shad. And, mate, that's all about stand-up comedy, and it's pretty damn funny. So jump on ComicConPod.com. Check them all out. Yeah, do that. I'm going to wrap it up.
Okay.
That's it, my friend. As always, this is Comic Confidential. I'm Troy.
I'm Cade.
And this has been Comic Confidential. That's how you butcher an outro, my friend.
Well, that's really well done. I was like, hang on. You've jumped the gun here, mate.
Look, that's what we're all about. I'm just eager to get this battle done.
Yeah?
You know, this head-to-head. I'm keen.
You keen?
Yeah, I'm keen.
We're going to beat them.
Yeah, we're going to beat them. If you can't beat them up, beat them off.
If you love this podcast, then head over to comicconpod.com to check out the other incredible shows on our network.
Whether you love comedy, pop culture, or movie and TV reviews, CC Radio has got you covered.